This video is to show you how to set up the operation and some troubleshooting methods for the Reno Model AX Detector. With the unit plugged into the 11-pin connector and the power on, the power LED should be on and green. If the unit is plugged in and LED is off or blinking, this is telling you that you have a power issue and you should check the input voltage to the unit. We'll talk more about this in the troubleshooting part of the video. Once the unit is powered up, the power LED should be green. Both the DET LED and the loop fault LED should be off. The sensitivity should be set to the medium-low setting, which is the front panel dip switch 5, and should be in the on position. Front panel dip switch 6 should be in the off position. This is the setting that we set at the factory. There are 4 settings for frequency: high, medium, low, and low. To adjust the frequency, they are selected by dip switch 1 and 2 on the front panel. What you want to do if you have multiple detectors, you want to make sure that each detector is set for a different frequency. If you don't do this, you will get crosstalk between the detectors. These switches are set to the off positions at the factory. Now that the sensitivity and frequency are set and all other front panel dip switches are set to the off position, the detector is ready to detect vehicles. There are 4 selectable modes of operation for this detector: 2 modes of presence and 2 modes for pulse. First, let's show you how the detector operates in the true presence mode. When a car is over the loop of the Model AX detector, the DET light should illuminate red. This is to let you know that there is a vehicle on the loop. At this point, the unit will activate the output relays. The relay will stay activated and the detector will not retune until the vehicle leaves. This is known as a true presence mode, and it is the factory default setting. The other mode of presence detection is the limited presence mode. This feature is used at locations that have a compromised loop that periodically locks up. The detector will drop the call within 1 to 3 hours and retune. To activate this feature, you will open the detector. There is an internal PC board mounted dip switch, number 1. Turn it to the on position. This will have the detector typically hold the call output for 1 to 3 hours. After that time, the detector will retune. To operate in the pulse mode, you will need to have dip switch number 3 on the front panel in the on position and the internal PC board mounted dip switch number 1 in the off position. With both of these switches set in these positions, the output relay will provide a 250 millisecond pulse when a vehicle enters the loop detection zone. If you want to change this feature to activate when the vehicle leaves, turn the internal PC board mounted dip switch to the on position. Now the detector will pulse when the vehicle leaves the loop detection zone. Let's put these 2 switches back to the factory default setting. With the Model AX, you have options that you may want to use. From the front panel, you have a boost dip switch. This feature is useful in preventing dropouts during the passage of high bed vehicles or when a vehicle is towing a trailer. To activate this feature, turn on the front panel dip switch 4. Another feature you may find helpful is timing. When activated, the output relay will have a 2-second delay before a call is placed. The output relay will only be turned on after the 2-second delay of time has passed with a vehicle continuously present in the loop detection zone. If a vehicle leaves the loop detection zone during the delay interval, detection is aborted and the detect LED will flash at a 4 Hz rate. The detector indicates that a vehicle is being detected, but that the output is being delayed. Once the 2 seconds are up, the DET light will illuminate solidly and the output relay will go to the closed position. This feature is useful when the loop is located in an area that has traffic that does not go through the gate. By delaying for 2 seconds, the unit ensures there are no faults detection. By delaying for 2 seconds, the unit ensures there is no false detection. To activate this feature, you must use the internal PC board-mounted dip switch number 2. Now let's talk about if you have loop faults or other issues using the LEDs on the front panel of the AX detector to diagnose problems. First, let's take a look at diagnosing power issues. With no power LED or a blinking LED, this is telling you that you have a power issue and you should check the input voltage to the unit. To check the voltage, you will need a voltmeter. Look on the side of the detector unit and see what the voltage should be, knowing that you should set your meter to measure that voltage. For example, if it's a 120 volt AC unit, you should set your meter to the AC reading. If it's 24 to 48 volt DC, you should set it to the DC reading. Once you set the meter, take one of the 2 probes and input it into the pin 1 of the socket, and the other put into pin 2 of the socket. And make sure that the meter is reading the correct voltage for the detector you're using. If the power is reading what you need, there may be an issue with the unit. If the power is wrong, you need to take care of the power supply before the unit will work. Next is loop failures. The Model AX detector has a loop fail LED that works with the DET LED to diagnose loop faults. If your loop fail LED is on and DET LED is on, this is an indication that you have an open loop or circuit. To troubleshoot this issue, look to make sure that the loop is connected. Most of the time, it is a loose wire connection or the lead-in wire has been cut. If you cannot find a cut, then you will need to test the loop. If your loop fail LED is flashing at a 1 Hz rate and DET LED is on, this is an indication that you have a shorted loop. Once again, check the wire connection or the lead-in wire for a short. If you cannot find a short, then you will need to test the loop. The diagnostics feature will also tell you that the detector had a previous loop issue. If your loop fail LED is flashing and the DET LED is off, if and when the loop returns to within tolerance, the loop fail LED will flash at a 3 flashes per second rate to indicate that an intermittent loop fault has occurred and has been corrected. This lets you know that the loop had a problem, and now it is within tolerance. This flash rate will continue until another one of the following things occur: another loop fault, the detector is reset, or power to the detector is interrupted. To clear the loop fail flash, you can push the reset button and it will go back to normal operations. This feature is to ensure that you know a potential and sometimes intermittent problem with the loop while you were away. Usually, you will want to check all the wire connections. This is the basic operation of the Model AX Reno detector.